Coming up through today, guys, we got some really sort of dry, satisfying wax plugs that we remove from some patients' ears. And we do also have a mystery plug, a really, really deep mystery plug that we still have no idea what it is.
It's an odd one.
Yeah, bit of a strange one. So stay tuned. My name is Taylor Green. I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates.
My name is Rhys Barber. I'm the other audiologist here at Audiology Associates. So this one's yours?
Yeah, so we've got some nice soft sort of, well, just normal earwax blocking up this patient's ear canals. First one's come away really nicely. I've opted to stick with the fine end for the removal, just purely because the patient is quite sensitive with noise inside the ear. So I've tried to keep the noise down as much as possible. What I'm trying to do is kind of bunch the wax into the suction tube. Now this one takes just a little bit longer than the other side. There's a little bit more in this one. But the patient has been using plenty of oil for me
it does make a
previous to
difference,
coming in. Yeah, it really does make a really big difference. But yeah, like I said, not everyone likes using the olive oil, which, you know, is fair enough. We completely understand, you know, that it can make your hearing feel a little worse. You know, it'll expand the wax, it'll block up all the little gaps. But when it comes to removing it, you know, like this, it's just so much easier.
I think people panic as well, don't they? Because unless you know that's what's going to happen, we always tell our patients, you know, this is what's going to happen when you use olive oil. Don't be afraid if it does get a bit worse. But if somebody doesn't know that and they use olive oil, it can make them feel panicky they've done something wrong, doesn't it? So.
So it's coming away really nicely here. Now we've only got a little bit left, a little flake on the side. I say a flake, it's still quite a decent size.
A hefty chunk.
Yeah, hefty chunk there. Yeah, it's come away really, really cleanly there.
Eardrum looks good.
I was literally just going to say the eardrums are looking perfect, absolutely perfect. Really nice light reflex, which is that little spot of light you could see down in the bottom right there. But yeah, looking really, really healthy. 2 centimeters roughly on this one.
I was just going to say probably around about just over 3/4 of an inch. I would imagine that would probably be. So this is mine. So we've got some quite deep plugs here as well. You can see a very humid ear canal, just misting that endoscope almost straight away. But watch how this plug comes away now as we lift from the bottom. I didn't expect this to come away as cleanly as it does. It's very crumbly. And you can see a little bit further in, you can see a little bit of a deeper section to the plug. So I was unsure as how this was going to come away, but watch this section. As we lift, this whole thing is one big plug, so it's one continuous plug. Lots of keratin. We can really see that dry skin, that keratin material lifting up off the base of the canal there.
That's come away perfect.
It's come away really cleanly. I didn't expect it to come away as cleanly as that. I thought we were going to have a bit of a fight on our hands. But this has come away really nicely. There we go. I think that got pretty much the whole plug out in one go, I think. Yep, there you go. The eardrum looking nice and healthy there, and nice and clear.
Lovely jubbly.
Very similar story on this side though. You can see humid ear canal again, so almost straight away. But when you take a look now, we've got that sort of crumbly layer here at the base. Now as before the other one lifted up, we've got to drop back that a little bit further. Now we know what the other side was like. We can drop back a little bit further because we know it's probably attached to that main plug. But here we go again. Lots of wiggling with this one though, just because you'll see now as we lift and draw this forwards, we've got that keratin layer. So what is keratin, guys? It's basically the skin cells here in the ear canal, and when they start to die off, they dehydrate, and then they get a higher concentration of keratin, if you like, compared to what they were like when they first formed, which makes it harden up a little bit. So you can see that there, and you can really see where all that keratin is detached from the canal wall. A little bit dull on the eardrum there, but some good sized plugs.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What are we, 7/8 of an inch there?
Just under 2.5 centimeters.
So that's a good one. Yeah. So nice big plugs. Don't forget, guys, if you do enjoy the videos, you can always like, heart, share, follow, subscribe for me. That would be absolutely fantastic. And if you have ear problems or hearing problems yourself, check out the link tree in the description. That will take you through to tell you anything you want to know about myself, the lovely Mr. Taylor Green, or Audiology Associates as a whole as well. Now, this is my patient as well. This was a difficult one because we've got this keratin plugs in both sides, really tough, hardened plugs in a narrow-ish ear canal. Not a lot of room to maneuver in here. Make sure you stay tuned for the last one, guys, for this mystery plug. I'd love to know in the comments what you think it is. Me and Taylor kind of can't quite work it out, but you might have an idea.
Yeah, kind of have an idea from the sort of backstory, but it just doesn't look like what we think it is.
No,
I don't know.
exactly
It's a bit of a strange one.
Yeah, make sure you stay tuned for that one as well. So we're just taking this one out. Now what we're doing here, when you've got these really hard plugs, especially when they're long and in a narrow canal, don't forget your ear canal is this sort of elongated S shape. So if you've got a very dry, hardened wax plug, it's going to form into that shape if it's long enough. So what I'm trying to do here is, you can see I'm trying to pull the front face of this wax plug across to the right hand side, trying to bend it over so that we can try and pull this through, but it's just not budging. So
yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't kind of like slither out of the ear canal. It just kind of stays as it is, and then it just holds on everywhere.
Exactly right. I tried to get the same Bart's hook in there just to try and drop it beyond, but it just couldn't get through the gap. So I've opted for the Rosen inserter here. So it's slightly thinner end to it. Makes it a little bit easier to pull this out. But
you just run the risk of pushing it in further with those thicker curettage.
Yeah. And when you fought for so long to get it to that stage, the last thing you want to do is push against it and push it back to square one again. So you've got to kind of work it back towards the front. So you can see this plug's almost wrapped in a sticky, thick, almost keratin layer, which is peeling away as we're breaking this down. But it's starting to almost unravel out of the ear canal here. Let's try and get the Rosen inserter. You can see it's still quite tough though. That Rosen inserter just flicked off the side of that.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, if you didn't know, your nails are actually made of keratin too.
Yeah. So you imagine how tough that is.
Can be.
Yeah, it's kind of flicking off the top of your nail. That's what's happening here. And then we've got this sticky, sort of slightly softer keratin there wrapping around the outside of it as well. So it's almost like a parcel of hard wax and keratin. There we go. Just using it just to hook the side, just to draw it down, so I can get behind it. There we go.
Yeah, we'd normally say like patients that have issues with like keratin or skin. I mean, we would usually suggest on most occasions either a twice yearly visit or once a year. Yeah. Just to keep on top of it really.
It does make a difference because the longer that stays, look at eardrum volume fab, good light reflex there, but the longer that stays in there, the harder it gets, and then the harder it is for us to remove as well, isn't it? And you do get to a tipping point where you get past where the surface is that hardened up that the oil doesn't always penetrate in, does it? That's the problem you have.
Yeah, and you got to use some slightly stronger drops then to try and break it down a little bit, because the oil just when it gets to a point where it's really, really tough and hard, the oil just doesn't touch the sides.
No,
it really doesn't.
Slightly thinner, don't you? Liquid to go in there and break it down. It actually reacts to the fats that bind the wax together, so it melts the plug rather than just softening the surface. So very similar story on this one as well. You can see we're going back in with the Rosen inserter on this one, but it's just not wanting to budge out here.
It's just breaking through it, just like unfolding it all.
It's just unraveling that surface layer again, isn't it? That's the problem.
Onions.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine an onion with a sticky layer on the outside. That's kind of what you're looking at here. I'm trying to get through into that harder section, but it's pulling. You can see it's just pulling down the sides, flicking off the front. So sometimes we need to get rid of these bits. Tidy everything up a little bit so we can see the wood for the trees here.
Oh, here we go.
There we are.
Bunch it all in.
Yep.
Come on.
It's almost there. Almost.
You can do it. Go on.
It does get a little bit frustrating because you can see the plug is starting to move, but you're just struggling to find that perfect spot, that little sweet spot to pop the suction onto.
Oh, still coming as well. That's actually a lot more than what I was expecting, to be completely honest.
And you can really see the size of the wax plug in comparison to the size of the ear canal there as well.
Yeah, again, a bit of a mixture of different colours in there as well. We got lights, we got darks, we got sort of skin, we got a bit of everything in that one.
You can see
the gradients of
the wax rainbow, to call it. There we go.
That's it.
So we've got 1.25 inches there, guys.
I'd say just 3 centimeters ish.
3 centimeters. Now I think this is that kind of mystery plug one, is it? Is this?
Yeah, there we go.
This I thought this was wax when you first showed me this. I thought this was just a wax plug.
Yeah, so this particular patient that came in to see myself, again, to me it just looked like really old wax, which it more than likely is, to be fair. But just the consistency of it was just really strange. I mean, it's also not the kind of consistency we'd usually see with like cotton wool either, because again, there are fibres of cotton wool in here. which you will see shortly. But I got the fine-on. It's the end of the day now. It's coming towards the end of the day now. We've got the fine end on here. What I'm trying to do is to lift it up to the right, which will, you know, ideally kind of pull this out of the recess. But I'm really struggling on getting a grip here. I mean, it looked really soft to start with, but I'm just really struggling with a suction here. With really sort of in an awkward position to use the standard size tube. And because we can still see the eardrum as well. Yeah. I mean,
it's going to be a lot of noise, isn't it? If we're using that, if your eardrum was completely covered, then you get a little bit of dampening of the sound. But this deep with that standard size, it's very noisy at that particular portion of the ear canal.
And also really too deep for. There we are. Look, you can see there's the sort of unraveling of some of the strands that was in the middle of this.
It looks fibrous, doesn't it? That's the thing I couldn't quite get here, because it doesn't look like cotton wool. Because cotton wool, if the US visitors will know what cotton wool is. Cotton wool is basically the stuff on the end of a Q-tip, because I think they call it something different in the US. Yeah. But basically, you see these fibers detaching, but you're not seeing that. This almost looks like compressed. I say it looked like a compressed dust bunny. Yes. It is that kind of where you get all those odd bits of fibre and it's all kind of mangled together. It's a weird one, this one.
Yeah, and this is going to be a crocodile forceps job in a second. This is really not going anywhere at the moment. Or even if we are making progress, it is really slow. And yeah, it's just quite a frustrating one, because I honestly thought this was going to come out straight away. I thought we're going to get a little suction grip, and I thought it was going to just pull out straight away. But we're really not getting that at all here. This has been in there quite a while, to be fair. The patient in particular is a self-admitting Q-tip cotton bud user. So, you know, it has been building up for a while, but more recently, you know, I think the lady just went a bit too far.
Enthusiastic. A little bit too enthusiastic, maybe with the cotton bud. Yeah.
It's like darker hazel as well. It's really strange.
Red. There's all sorts of colour in it. I think this almost looks like compressed, something really compressed and fibrous. It's an odd. Yeah. I don't think this is purely wax. I think there's wax in there. Don't get me wrong, but let's have a look at this then.
There you go.
Oh, look at that coming away.
Pulling away. In almost instantly, as soon as that pulled away, I could almost hear the patient side.
See the colours running down through it there, and that's not blood. That's fibre. I swear that's fluff.
Really weird one.
That's a weird one. It almost looks like a piece of fluff that's been shoved down in there too far.
Eardrum is looking pretty good, considering, though. There's no issues I can see with the eardrum there.
Yeah, that's looking healthy.
So we got about 1 centimetre.
Yeah. I'm going to say that's probably about 1/4 of an inch. Thereabouts. Well, guys, so if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, heart, share, follow, subscribe. If you hit the like button, it lets other people know that you enjoyed the video, and it's going to push it out to more people. If you enjoyed it a lot yourself, check out, click the subscribe and the follow button. Now we're there, guys. At least you know you get a new video every time we post one as well. But guys, thank you so much for watching our video today. And myself and lovely Mr. Teddy Greenfield will see you for the next video. But as always, guys, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And take care of one another. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.